I'm just gonna go and keep doing that center line and that halt over and over again until it's right. And I've got to get my horse straight. I've got to get a halt. Oh shoot, I overshot the center line. Oh no, now back the other way. Oh no, I'm getting near X. Oh gosh, he's not stopping. Pull, halt. Now he's not standing still. How do I salute? Is this how you salute? Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to be giving you a secret, which is the number one thing that you can do to improve your scores this year. So if you're showing, comment below, let me know what level you're showing. First, I'm going to demonstrate the way not to improve your scores this year, and this is something that I see happening a lot with riders. So it's like we're getting close to the show and we've sent in our entry and suddenly you realize that you need to start practicing the test and practicing the movements. And what I see happen is that people completely forget about the basics and they just start drilling the pattern over and over again. I'm going to use the center line and the halt as an example. So, okay, I'm going to start my test. I'm going up the center line and I get near X. And all of a sudden I think, oh gosh, I have to halt. And I pull on the reins and my horse goes crooked. Okay, now that was a terrible halt. So I'm going to trot and I'm going to give my horse a kick because they did it wrong. And then I'm just going to go and keep doing that center line and that halt over and over again until it's right. One thing that's very, very important in improving your score, in having a successful show, is the basics. So if you look at your test, on the top left-hand corner of the test, there is a box that says the purpose of the level. And one of the first sentences says that the horse demonstrates correct basics. What are the basics? The basics are the training scale. So I have a masterclass on the training scale. So if you want to learn about the training scale, it's like the number one thing that you can do to improve your scores this year. The training scale is made up of 6 key elements: rhythm, suppleness, connection, impulsion, straightness, and collection. You start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. Each level of the training scale is an essential ingredient to correctly train your horse. The Training Scale Masterclass is designed to teach you everything that you need to know about the training scale and how to apply it to your horse. You will have a plan, you will have a system, and you will know exactly what you need to do to make progress with your horse. So, okay, let's go back to my center lines and my halts. The first thing that I need to do to improve my center lines is I need to establish a steady tempo, a steady rhythm, and I need to get my horse a bit rounder and more through. Because a lot of the problem with my center line and my halt is that my reins were way too long, my horse was completely unorganized, he wasn't round, he wasn't in front of the leg. So rather than just repeating the center line and the halt over and over again, which is what I see people do, you need to problem solve by going back to the basics. So I'm thinking, okay, rhythm, suppleness, connection, getting my horse a little bit rounder. Now I'm going to try to break things down a little bit more. So rather than doing my center line with a halt transition, I'm going to break it down and just practice some walk-trot transitions. This is something that's really important when you're training your horse, is that if you're having trouble with something, break it down into a more simple movement. So if you're having trouble with your halts on the center line, start by doing trot, walk, trot transitions on a circle or on the long side. And what I'm focusing on with these walk, trot, walk transitions is the basics. So I'm focusing on the rhythm, a 4-beat walk rhythm, closing my leg, a 2-beat trot rhythm. Good boy. I'm focusing on that he's staying relaxed, and I'm also focusing on the connection, that I don't want any more or any less pressure in my hand as I'm doing these transitions. So if you're struggling with your halts, this would be where I would start, is getting that rhythm, getting that suppleness, doing some trot, walk, trot transitions on a circle line. The next thing that you're gonna do is that you're gonna practice doing some halt transitions on the long side. So it's easier to do the halt transition on the long side because you have the rail to support you. You also noticed how I let him take a few little walk steps into the halt, and I'm not terribly worried just yet that he's halting square. Mostly I just want to focus on that he's listening to my aids. I'm pulling my tummy in. I'm trying not to use my reins to stop him. I'm just using my reins to keep him supple and soft. Good boy. So you can see how now that I've broken things down, I'm a lot more organized, and so is my horse. Another good thing to practice for your Centerlines is doing some 10-meter circles. Because a 10-meter circle is going to help you to get that turn up the center line nice and smooth and correct. So once you've broken it down like that, then I would say, okay, now I'm going to try my center line and my halts again. You can even just practice going up the center line and not doing a halt transition. Or you can practice going up the center line and just making a transition first to the walk. Good boy. And then to the halt. Oops. And so that was a little crooked. So I'm just going to close my leg, walk straight, trot, and try one more time again. So you can see how it's a lot more difficult to do the halt transition on the center line, because here I have the wall to help me. But on the center line, I'm out in the open. So I'm going to try it one more time. It's really important that you look up and try to look for the judge. So like when you get to F, turn your head and your shoulders. I'm looking for the letter C. I'm getting the letter C right between his ears. I'm using my leg to keep him on the line. I'm pulling my tummy in, walking forward. Good boy. And halt. Good boy. Boy. So that's what's really important, is that if you're showing this year, which is great, it's great to have that as a goal, but the biggest thing that's going to help to improve your scores is actually testing the movements and then going back to the basics to fix the problems in the movement. That's really important when you're training your horse, is that you have to break things down into simple bite-sized pieces so that your horse can understand. And a big part of that is focusing on the basics, and the basics are the training scale. So when you have rhythm, suppleness, connection, those bottom three pillars are super important before you ever even start thinking about doing a test movement or riding a test. That should always be the focus of your warm-up. So be sure to check out the description. I have a masterclass about the training scale, which is open for enrollment if you're watching this in real time. And it's a wonderful program which will not only help to boost your scores, but also just help you to have a better relationship and a better connection with your horse so that you can make progress. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like my channel, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Training a horse is a partnership of trust and harmony. In order to achieve this, you must have a consistent, actionable training plan that works. This is exactly what I'm going to be teaching you inside my brand new step-by-step program, the Training Scale Masterclass.